Harry, this is Laura Potato, and this is What If Luffy Became a Marine, Part 4. Now, I should mention one thing, no recaps, because it's been 6 days ago, but not the point. Now, what's it called? So, yes, this is Part 4, and, oh yeah, go subscribe to my channel, Iconic What Ifs, and Obito What Ifs. Links will be in the description, but other than that, let me begin to this What If. I did record Blackbeard a while ago, well, not Blackbeard. What if Naruto was Blackbeard, which I'm uploading right now, or I'll upload later, whatever. I'll upload this later, and yeah, whatever. But later on, I'm also gonna be doing part 3 of What If Naruto was a Genjutsu / Funjutsu master, just because, yeah. And after that, I might record something else, but maybe I go do live stream. But other than that, let me begin. This is Sam What If, and shut the fuck up for myself. But okay, so let's begin into Luffy. Luffy, after kind of answering the questions from Garp, he is, well, we go into Garp and Luffy. Luffy and Garp are right now on a boat. Yes. Garp is going to visit at, well, the East Blue to kind of see the bandits. Mostly, yeah, Makino and bandits and other thing, to apologize to, well, the bandits. And, well, to the bandits and other things. Of course, where Garp is on the boat, of course, his, like, right-hand man, the guy with the sword, is also there. He's staying quiet, and Luffy's also staying pretty damn quiet. Luffy is right now looking through the sea, and really not saying anything. Garp really wanted Luffy to kind of talk to him. But Luffy seems to really be really fucking close. Like, he does not want to talk. He hates the fact that he has to kind of sit on a boat with his grandfather. The man that he kind of hates, but at the same time respect for him to capture Goldie Roger. But yeah, but hate the fact that he had it to somewhat be together with his sister, somewhat older brother. He doesn't really see Ace as an older brother, or neither does Sabo. He hates both of them, even Lucy. So yeah. Of course, Luffy is there. He still has a sword on his back. And of course, Luffy is just like sitting, just looking at like the sea. I should mention that Luffy still has a bunch of bandages everywhere. He has one bandage just right now covering one of his eyes, but yeah, because he did kind of get sliced one time in the battle. So yeah, it's been only about 2 weeks. Last time I said it was 2 months, but now I'm gonna go 2 weeks later. But yeah, Luffy's already out of the infirmary, but he still is hurt. He still needs to take some medicine because his body is still kind of weak. So yeah, this is where Luffy barely talks, and that's why he has a like mask on his face, like a face mask, because he's not sick or anything. He just sometimes he coughs way too much and like blood comes out. But yeah, so where, well, if he just has that just in case, just so he doesn't like cough on to someone. But yeah, this is where, well, a lot of Marines are kind of respecting Luffy, even though they respect Garp a lot, but they're respecting Luffy so much more. But yeah, Luffy is just right now looking to the sea. Now, of course, he knows where he's at. He's at the East Blue, where he originally came from. This is where Garp like gets onto the island where Luffy came from and all, or mostly Luffy was at before he kind of joined the Marines. And Garp is walking with the Marines. This is where Garp is kind of like through the town, and this is where, well, that one bandit, mostly the bandit leader, kind of gets out. This is where one of her legs is, well, wasn't one of her legs being cut off? Yeah, one of her legs is cut off, and she has like this what's it called, mallet, not mallet, club. She has a wooden like club thing, and of course she's rushing towards Garp, smacking his head down to the ground, saying, "You idiot! Why did you let him die?" This is where Garp is like trying to be strong, but at the same time he's crying. And this is where, well, we're not crying. Mostly he's just trying to be strong and not trying to say that much stuff. And this is where she says, "Why didn't you protect him? Why?" So where Garp is seeing the like tears falling off her like face, and this is where drops are just dropping on. And this is where Makino kind of says, "Please, what's it called? What is her name? Fuck, you should call her banner leader, but wait." So her name is Dadan. or named Daden, whatever. Dadan is right now trying to be calmed down by Makino. Makino says, Dada, please don't attack him. This is where the other bandits are trying to tell her to stop attacking Garp. And this is where, well, they see Luffy. Luffy has, well, one of his eyes open, and Luffy doesn't seem to care much. He seems to really not care about how Garp is getting hurt. He seems to kind of enjoy it, but no one can really tell what he's actually thinking, since one of his eyes are kind of like covered up by bandages. Most of his like right eye, his left eye is the one kind of like narrowing his eyes. But Luffy seems to like really not care. He's showing no emotions most of the time. He has his sword, but I should mention one thing. One of his arms is somewhere in a casket right now because he did manage to kind of fracture one of his arms in the middle of the battle by kind of getting hit by Whitebeard's attack. So yeah, of course, this is where it's mostly his like left arm is on a fraction, like on a casket. So yeah, it was the one that was fractured. And this is where Luffy seems to really not care. This is where Luffy, he's kind of looking at the situation. And Garp did say for the Marines not to intervene. This is where Luffy didn't intervene because he's one of the Marines. And this is where, well, Garp's like right-hand man is still like there, sitting also. Or mostly standing, just looking at this. And this is where, well, Dada Ting looks up and says, You bastard, try to kill your own sister. This is where Luffy seems to really not care much. His one eye narrows really dangerously. The fact that he hates the fact that people call him, well, the sister, or mostly not sister, the brother of the sister of, well, pirates and the marine and all that. He really hates it. He hates the fact that people think that he is a part of Luffy's group and all that. Luffy's not a part of anything. This is where, well, Dada says, You bastard, you tried to kill her, just like you tried to kill Ace. She's angry, she's arguing, she's getting angrier. Makino does see Luffy, and Luffy seems to really like narrow his eyes dangerously. This is where Makino gets up, or not Makino, Dada gets up, gets a club, and rushes towards Luffy. Luffy, he wasn't taking that hit, he is not Garp. So of course, this is where Luffy, he was about to grab his sword in an instant to cut her down. The fact that this bitch is gonna try to hit him. And yes, he can remember all the time Dada kind of like bully him to kind of like make him feel bad. But mostly Dada was trying to do stuff to kind of make the kids be stronger so they want to be a pirate and all that. But of course that didn't work, and Sabo kind of died. Ace and Luffy became pirates, and look where that happens. And look at what Luffy is, a marine now. A very psychotic marine. This is where Luffy was about to grab his sword. And this is where Garp saw no hesitation. Luffy was about to grab his sword in an instant. Luffy's eyes were narrowing so dangerously. So much hatred was kind of leaking off of him. This is where was called Garp's right-hand man realized what Luffy was doing. Luffy hands started kind of turning into this black color, into basically the Yami Yami no Mi. But it was kind of like he was about to like turn into Yami Yami no Mi, but then it became a sitting, and Luffy was about to grab his sword. That's where Dada rushes, trying to like swing her club at Luffy. She really thought Luffy wasn't going to do anything. This is where she thought that Luffy was going to regret a lot of things, because she did see Garp kind of regretting stuff. Luffy seems to no hesitation, no regret. Luffy grabbed his sword, pulls it out of his like sheath, and was about to cut her down. This is where Luffy seems to really not regret anything. This is where Dada widened her eyes. She just saw the sword, but then it got blocked by an instant. It wasn't Garp that blocked it. Instead, it was his right-hand man. It was the guy with a hat that kind of looks like... I remember something they said that he kind of looked like... Wait. So I don't remember, but he looks like someone from like the 19th century. I don't remember. It was that one guy that kind of like busted a bunch of like criminal organizations. I don't remember his name, but the right hand man was named Borgo or Borgo. Or okay. Fuck, I think I fucked it up. His name is Bulgar, and of course he pulled out his sword to block the sword that was about to like cut Dada. This is where Dada like widened her eyes. The sword so close to cutting her near her neck. But of course, this is where Borgo already has his sword right now blocking Luffy's swing. Now Luffy had armament hawking onto his sword, but he was just pissed. That's where Luffy was narrowing his eyes so dangerously. It's so really dangerous towards Borgo. That's where Borgo says, "That's not very wise of you to kind of hurt the civilian, Luffy. Stand down." Luffy just puts his sword back to his back and just walks away like he was angry. He was already annoyed and pissed. Like his face just started twisting into this anger. This is where Luffy started walking away because he's just pissed and annoyed. This is where, well, Borgo sighs and says, "I'm gonna have to keep an eye on him. Sorry about that, Dada. And, Garp, I will keep an eye on Luffy. Don't worry about it." This is where Borgo knows about Luffy's kind of mental state. He was actually asked by the old lady. We go into a flashback on what happened. Borgo was about to go onto a boat with Garp and all that because Garp did ask him to come. But this is where, well, before Borgo kind of leaving towards the ship, the lady that was kind of like mostly the nurse who was there, like doctor nurse and all that, who was there kind of taking care of Luffy's like injuries and all that, told Borgo about, well, the mental state that he has, and not to tell Garp. This is where Borgo questioned why. It seems that, well, she said, it seems that the mental state is connected with Garp in somewhat way. It seems that his anger just keeps growing being near Garp. Make sure to kind of keep an eye on him, not to kind of go berserk. There's a good chance he will go berserk because his mental state is not that perfect. His mental state is containing of being one, a psychopath, like you saw in the Marine Fort, well, kind of clips a bit. And the second one is, well, his mind is not at the right place. He's not an adult yet. He doesn't act like an adult most of the time. I did talk to Aikido, and Aikido did kind of explain a little bit about his mental state. His second mental state is a broken child. A child that doesn't seem to really have anyone. So just make sure to take care of him. I know Garp, if I tried to even tell him this, Garp would try to punch him and beat him up. Make sure to, we're trying to make him become more like a Marine, a stable Marine. But that would just keep breaking his mindset. So I'm just telling you this now. I know you're a calm, wise man. Other than that, Garp is just an idiot. And we'll try to break him more. This is where Borgo nodded and says, "I understand." This is where we go back into Luffy. Luffy's just angry. His anger just boiling inside him. He hates this fucking island. He hates it so damn much. He just wants to just destroy it in an instant. His anger, his mind is just being clouded. This is where Luffy is, around him is starting just to kind of grow like a zillion spikes. Luffy's anger is just growing and growing and growing. So Luffy's just getting angrier. Luffy's hand just became into the Yami Yami no Mi, like it became full darkness, and then it became the bubble of the Quake, and then a Cillian on top of it. That's where Luffy's just angry. He's unconsciously doing this. That's where Luffy then add armament hawking, and he's just getting more angrier. He's saying, "Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it." Every time he looks all around this island, because he was just walking around, he just sees so many images of himself when he was younger, getting bullied by Lucy, getting bullied by Ace, getting hurt by Sabo, getting hurt by some people, getting left behind to kind of be beaten up by the civilians and even what's it called, like pirates or even bandits. Nothing. Luffy is just getting angrier. His frustration is just getting over like the top. It's just becoming nothing into fury, pure blown fury. He's getting angrier. This is where Luffy has to calm down somehow, but he's kind of too angry to even think. So Luffy kind of like puts his hand out. This is where he sends a very powerful Yami Yami attack, like a Yami darkness blast into the water. But this is where when it hits the water, it kind of just sits out. But yeah, it was like fire, like if he sent fire out. But this is where Luffy kind of was confused, but didn't care that much. This is where, well, Luffy's body is just getting angrier. Of course, it's hurting even more every time he thinks and gets angrier. But this is where, well, when he gets angrier, his eye kind of hurts a little bit more because he's just getting too frustrated to even, like, calm down because he wants to just kill everything. His body is kind of wanting him to kill everything that stands in front of him, everything that kind of hurt him when he was a child. So where Luffy, he's kind of just like trying to sit down, which he does. He kind of cross applesauce. He just kind of like sits there, and Luffy's like looking to ocean, but he's still so angry. Obsidian spikes are starting to grow around him. Luffy is not knowing this, but he just kind of looking into the ocean. The only thing that's actually calmed him down when he was a child, and now it's still calming him down when he's 17. And so well, Borgo is right now just looking at this and seeing the obsidian spikes kind of growing, but stop growing after a while. This is where he sees the frustration is kind of leaving Luffy's mostly face. Luffy's face is kind of becoming blank, very blank. This is where, well, Borgo noticed that the ocean might be the only thing that could calm down Luffy, but everything else seems to just piss him off a lot more. Because he has noticed how Luffy kind of, like, if looks can kill, he would have murdered Garp. Like, every time he stares behind Garp's head and try to somehow send a laser beam from his eye to just blow, Garp's head. He doesn't seem to kind of have hatred to anyone else, like in the boat. No other Marine he doesn't have hatred to. He actually respects a lot of Marines and all that. Even him. But Garp, on the other hand, just seems to just piss him off. Send him over the fucking, fence. That's where Luffy is just like, he's just being calmed down. Right now, seeing the ocean. And yes, it's kind of like a moon out there because it's kind of turning night and all that. The sunset's going down and then he's just seeing the moon kind of rise. Something that was the only thing to calm him down. The moon. For some reason, the moon was the only thing to calm him down. Nothing else. Every time he sees the sun, he just gets annoyed and always gets reminded of Luffy's fucking face. But when he sees the moon, for some reason, it always calms him down. It always gives him a relaxation, like a relaxed thing. He always had been a very calm, but yet kind of silent child. He knew about that. He knew that he was a very outspoken person, just like Luffy was. He was very calm, quiet, and collected. But all that kind of changed when he kind of met Sabo and Ace. Still, he's still trying to collect his bearings without trying to burst into full-on anger or berserk. He's just thinking of Aikido and people that might care about him. This is where, well, we go into a flashback. Before the nurse did talk to, Borgo, Luffy was kind of seeing Aikido off. That's where Aikido says, "What are you doing here, Luffy?" Luffy says, "Sir, is it really okay for me to kind of stay with Garp for 3 months?" Aikido says, "I see no problem." "Why is that?" Nothing. I just don't see a reason why. I can train by myself. I can get stronger by myself. I see no reason to kind of be with Garp. Now, I should mention one thing. Kobe is also with Garp, like Cody or Kobe or whatever his goddamn name is. Now, Kobe is kind of scared of Luffy. Luffy seems to have the good intentions towards Kobe. Kobe was the one to kind of block his way when he was about to kill Luffy. Now, of course, this is where Luffy has a very how the fuck do you say? Distasteful liking to Kobe. He doesn't even like him. He hates him. He thinks that Kobe is a part of truly Luffy's group. But Kobe is just like trying to protect his friend who kind of saved him. He doesn't know about Luffy and Luffy's past. So, of course, he's kind of scared of Luffy. Doesn't work. Well, Luffy is just right now, just still looking at the moon, but yeah. Doesn't work. Well, he did talk to Aikido, and Aikido does say, "Is it really necessary for you? Do you really not want to be with Garp for 3 months? It's just 3 months. Nothing bad will happen. Besides, he is called the strongest Marine." Sure, Luffy says, I know. Don't worry, kid. You're still strong. Just be strong. And don't let your mental state kind of, break you. Luffy nodded. This is where Kaido did get up and kind of, because he was on his chair and basically in his office, gets up and kind of puts his hand on top of Luffy's head, saying, Luffy, you'll be fine. Nothing bad will happen. Besides, any pirate that goes up against you will lose because of how strong you are. You've shown to be strong enough to defeat the Whitebeard and Blackbeard. Who else do you think will have to fight you? You're right. I don't know what I was fussing about. Kaido, if by any chance, if I go fight against someone stronger, with strong devil fruit, do I eat it or do I just take it with me? Kaido says, I'll say eat it, if it's something that will help you with speed. You realize you have 3 devil fruits that are pretty good in mid to close range. Something that will give you long range would be good. So I guess you will take it. Luffy says, I see. I understand. Thank you. That's where, Kaido nods and says, then go on, kid. Go on. That's where we go back into Luffy, and Luffy is looking at the moon. Of course, he had his eyes closed when he was thinking about this. And that's where Luffy says, the moon. Why does it look so nice? Like something is on that moon. For some reason, his observation hawking is so advanced. When during the war battle, he can actually sense so many people with fear. He's looking at the moon using the observation hawking, and for some reason, he just keeps looking further and further. And this is where, for some reason, he sees a person on the moon, confused on how they got there. But this is where that person noticed someone was looking at him. For some reason, he was getting looked at. And yes, this is Eneru. Eneru was defeated by Lucy, but Eneru can just kind of repump his heart, restart his heart with lightning. And of course, this is where Eneru was confused. Who he's getting looked by? He's confused because, first off, he doesn't want to fight Lucy again because he realized that Rubber is his biggest counterpart, and of course, he just doesn't want to fight that again. But of course, this is where he's trying to get his army stronger. Luffy says, interesting. Someone that strong up there. Would I be able to? No. Can I? Wait a minute. This is where Luffy decides to try his Yami Yami range. This is where Luffy says, Yami Yami, Vortex. This is where he sent a Yami Yami Vortex. This is where it didn't make it that far, only made it 2 miles. This is where Luffy says, damn it. It's too damn far. The moon is really too damn far. What am I thinking about? Trying to get that person from down there. From all the way up there to down here. This is where it was still kind of being the moon was kind of rising a little bit. And there was still light. And Luffy says, maybe I should try it one more time. Yami Yami. Vortex. Black hole. This is where, he puts both of his hands out. And this is where the black hole void does appear. And it does manage to reach the moon. Because you see here, it's night. And, there's burning kind of a little bit of light. This is where someone gets pulled. This is where Eneru widened his eyes. He didn't expect anyone to pull them. This is where Eneru was trying to get his army together. We'll see a bunch of these shorebutts. But this is where it gets pulled all the way down back to Earth. This is where straight to an island. This is where, Borger was kind of watching this. He was confused what Luffy was doing. And this is where someone appeared. Right in front of Luffy. Right in front of Luffy before Luffy punched him in the face. This is where a person was almost about to fall into water, but this is where he managed to caught himself. This is where he was confused. And Neru was confused as hell. He was like, huh? Wait, I was just on the moon. What the hell? You bastard. This is where Neru is a person with a ring on his back with 4 drums. This is where Neru does have his kind of golden staff still. And this is where, he looks at Luffy with this anger expression. This is where Luffy says, I see. So, I can't tell if you're human or not. But I don't care. And Neru is this taller person than Luffy. So, Neru is 8'9", while Luffy in this one is actually a little bit 5'10". This is where Neru kind of sends a bolt of lightning straight towards Luffy. Luffy managed to dodge it. Well, not dodge it, mostly transform his body into a Scythian. when the lightning hits the civilian, it doesn't affect them. Here's where another goes, huh? What the? Are you also made out of rubber? This is where, well, Luffy kind of gets confused. Rubber? Wait, don't tell me you fought against my sister. This is where, well, Aneru says, your sister. Her name was Lucy, wasn't it? Ah, fuck. Wait, she's that weak that she couldn't fight you? Huh, what pathetic. I always knew she was an idiot. Aneru says, whatever. I don't care. I gotta figure out how to go back up there. Maybe my people can see from up there. This is where he sends a bolt of lightning trying to reach the moon, which he managed to. He managed to kind of like shrink this lightning bolt to hit the moon. And of course, where, well, they got alerted where Aneru would be at. But this is where Luffy says, I don't care, what's the point? Luffy pulls out his sword. This is where Aneru pulls out his like spear, does make it into a trident, and both their attacks clash. This is where, well, Borger doesn't actually know what's happening. How did Luffy even grab this person? Where did he even grab this person? This is where, well, they were both clashing with swords, or mostly like trident with sword. And this is where Luffy says, I don't care who you are, but I won't let you win. This is where Aneru says, screw you, lightning bolt, what's it called? No, lightning bolt, rumble, rumble, no me, lightning strike. He sends a lightning strike straight to Luffy. Luffy gets hit by it, but Luffy doesn't care about the pain. Luffy then says, quick, quick, no me, bubble, well, quick, quick, bubble. He punches, well, what's it called, well, he tries to punch, well, no, he does punch, what's it called, Aneru in the stomach, and Aneru goes, you can't be fucking serious. This is where Luffy then uses the Yami Yami no Mi to kind of put his hand onto, well, not Kaido, mostly, Aneru, mostly on his shoulder, which, it kind of, if you think about it, Yami Yami no Mi is kind of something that kind of, it's like hawking at the same time. It has the same properties like that. But yeah, and this is where Luffy puts his like leg into obsidian, kicking, well not kicking, kneeing the shit out of Aneru. And it goes, this is where Luffy then puts his hand into armament hawking and punches him in the face. This is where Aneru gets like punched in the face. This is where he gets pushed back. This is where he says, I'm not losing. This is where he hits the drums behind him like twice and says, lightning dragon. One, what's it called? Two, not 20, what's it called? 50 million volts. This is where he sent a dragon that much. And of course, Luffy was seeing it. And this is where Luffy was about to get hit by it. But of course, he transformed his sword into armament hawking, cutting through it. This is where, what's it called? Neru's widening his eyes. Luffy appeared right now, kneeing his stomach back into Neru's, like, what's it called? Chest area. This is where Neru goes, this is where Luffy says, I'm not gonna give up. This is where he swings his other leg. His, well, mostly it was his his right knee that knee and what's called Aneru, and then he swings his left leg at Aneru's head, adding armament hawking, smashing him down to the ground. This is where, well, Borga was about to get into this fight, but seeing Luffy is still kind of fighting him. Even though Luffy has one eye and has one arm to use, Luffy is beating the fuck out of this man. He's showing no mercy. This is where Luffy kind of then puts his hand into Obsidian and then just like punches Neru's head back to the ground. And Neru managed to transform his body into lightning fast enough, and this is where Luffy misses it. This is where Neru says, whoever the hell you are, I'm not dying to some pathetic weakling like you. Luffy says, pathetic? Nah, I'm not you. I don't care what you are. Are you some kind of pirate or something? That's where Neru laughs and says, some pirate? No, I'm a god. This is where Luffy says, a god? And Neru says, yeah, I'm a god. I can't lose to someone like you. This is where Luffy says, I am quite confused. What are you talking about? I'm a god that can't die. I'm someone that would never die. This is where Luffy then thinks about Blackbeard saying, I'm a god. This is where Luffy says, God, why does everyone have a freaking god inferiority? You have one that has an ego for God, and also Blackbeard had one. Probably Whitebeard also had one. Everyone that's strong, I feel like they're gonna have a well, what's it called? A god purity or whatever. Blah blah blah. Let's see where. Well, and Neru says, but whatever. I won't. This is where Luffy says, darkness void. That's where. Well, he pulls. Well, he then says, darkness vortex. Pulls in. Well, what's it called? Neru close to him, and this is where Luffy kind of just hits Neru with a what's called like Armor Man Hawking punch in the stomach. This is where Ender caught the blood. This is where, well, Luffy starts kind of just wailing on him with one arm, with Armor Man Hawking one arm. Pah, pah. This is where Luffy then pulls out his sword because he did put it behind him and swings at Neru, cutting him. Now, I should mention one thing. Luffy still has roots behind him. He kind of just has them because, well, you might get hungry one time. So, yeah. But they're fresh new fruits. They're not like rotten fruits. But, yeah. This is where Neru wiped his eyes, saying, am I really dead? Well, interesting. I guess I am. This is where Luffy says, don't care what you were. If you were some kind of god that had, well, not eating devil fruit, still don't care. Getting one of you with less problems out of here. This is where, well, Orgo saw how Luffy kind of handled this man. It seems that Luffy is now using his Yami Yami no Mi, his Quake Quake no Mi, and even his, what they call, Obsidian. This is where, well, he thought that Luffy would kind of, what they call, like, get scared and try to run away. But Luffy seems to be calm. Luffy is kind of trying to be calm in fights, not to go insane path that much. He did try to talk to himself. You see here, Luffy has two mental states, his psychotic self and his kind of broken self. This is where he's trying to talk to each other because, yeah, of course, this is where it just comes to his calm state. Because he realized he has one eye just open, the other one is kind of like bandaged up and has one arm. So, of course, he can't go reckless on Eneru. This is where Eneru dies. Well, this is where Luffy, he then, what's it called, like, looks towards his back to see some of the fruits. And one fruit becomes this bluish type of color. This kind of bluish with lightning patterns like around as the lines are. That's what Luffy says. Very interesting. Then he remembers Aikaido little talk. If the fruit helps you, then it might help you. This is where Luffy then thinks about it. Can you help me with the Obsidian? Obsidian is fast but still slow. Lightning. Would it boost it? I can't tell. We know how to do it anyway. Luffy starts eating on the fruit. This is where Luffy's body just started going down in shock. This is where Borgo didn't think Luffy would be crazy enough to eat the fourth devil fruit. This is where Luffy gets up with no pain. But of course Borgo says, you idiot. I told you, what is wrong with you? This is where Luffy says, wait, you were watching me? This is where Borgo says, no, I just saw you. And I just saw you eat a fourth devil fruit, you fucking moron. Luffy says, I didn't eat another fruit. That's just my bandage of my arm. Luffy's trying to lie from his teeth, but Borgo already saw it. Seems Luffy is like trying to get stronger by himself. It's where Borgo will try to help Luffy in like swordsmanship, because you can see Luffy's pretty good with a sword, but still not that great. It seems that he doesn't have really much of a style on swordsman. But this is where, well, he will help Luffy. It's just he doesn't want Luffy to eat like a fifth devil fruit instead. You can see that Luffy now has, well, if you want to think about it, Luffy has about 3 Logias and 1 premonition. Yes, Luffy now has a, well, basically the Romo no Mi, meaning the Logia one that's lightning, the Yami Yami no Mi, and the Obsidian one, and also his premonition devil fruit. That's from Whitebeard. Luffy is trying to make himself strong enough to defeat, well, Lucy when she ever gets stronger. But yeah, of course, this is where Borgo is not going to tell Garp anything, because if he tells Garp, Garp is just going to freak out and get angry. He's just going to have to tell this to, well, Marine Court. What's it called? Not Marine Court. It's just mostly Marine Headquarters. Kind of talk to Sengoku about this, and even Kaido, or not Kaido, Aikaido. But yeah, this is where, well, Luffy kind of passes out on Borgo's kind of shoulder, because he was still kind of like passing out. This is where Borgo kind of gets him, because he knows that Luffy doesn't have much stamina. During that war, he kind of used way too much stamina, which overdid his body, kind of having an overdo. So yeah. So of course with that happening, he decides to bring Luffy back of course, still sleeping. Mostly goes to the boat, but yeah, so Luffy won't go berserk or anything. So this is where Garp tries to say sorry to Tada and even Makino. And this is where Makino hasn't seen Luffy in a while. But of course, where, well, we go from that island back to the headquarters. This is where Luffy kind of trained by himself. Kind of waking up at 3 a.m. to just train by himself. Not 3 a.m., mostly 3 hours later. Just train on armament hawking and other stuff. But doing it quietly. Now Borgo notices. He noticed that Luffy does not sleep that much. Seems 3 hours is the top most that he sleeps for. 3 hours is not that good. And if he's also tried to make Luffy just sleep. He even tried to force Luffy one time. But yeah, but we go into months later. We go into 4 months later. Luffy has been training, and of course, the more sleep he managed to get was 5 hours. Borgo saw that it was an improvement instead of his 3 hours, but still, it's not enough. It seems that Luffy's conscience is kind of becoming stable enough, trying to be stable enough. But still, he has too much of a broken mindset. So yeah, of course, he's being a little more calm. Now, Garp thinks it's due to his help that he's managing to get Luffy's calm state. Not really, it's making it worse every time he's near Garp. That's why Borgo decides to keep Luffy's training kind of secretive from Garp. Because you can see that Garp just makes it worse while he makes it kind of better. It seems that Luffy has taken a liking to Borgo thanks to the sword training. So yeah, Luffy is kind of making his own sword style because he doesn't want to just take Borgo's kind of fighting style in the swords. So of course he's making his own. But of course Luffy has kind of been using his sword by his left hand, and his right hand he actually has the golden trident that he kind of took from Eneru. So yeah. Of course, he can change the trident into anything, but also add his obsidian into the trident with lightning. And he can throw the spear way faster than anything. He even realized that with his obsidian, obsidian weapons and lightning style, he can throw his weapons way faster. He only had a theory of it, but he now sees it in action and can see that it goes faster. And can actually be summoned out faster than last time he fought against, Blackbeard or Whitebeard or anything like that. But of course, with that happening, we go into, a 2-year time skip. It's mostly the post time skip later. Luffy has been training with Borgo, in, secrecy, but of course has been training with Kaido. After 3 months with, Garp, he kind of has this calm mindset like Borgo does, but at the same time, he still hates Garp a lot. But of course, he's with Kaido, and Kaido is saying, so, how's the training? Pretty good. I have learned a sword style. Good. Wait, sword style? I thought you would learn armament hawking. Oh, that awesome. But I was training with Borgo. I need a sword style anyway, so that's why I trained with him. That's where Kaido nodded, but yeah. Luffy, in his kind of 2-year time skip, he's 19 years older, but he's the height of, being 6'5". He became taller. Of course, he is 6'5". His hair is kind of short at the same time. Still short. But of course, this is where Luffy doesn't have that scar. I should mention that in original canon. He just has his face being kind of clean. He has no scar much. Well, he does have a little scar. Kind of a scar on his eye. Because yeah, it was mostly there that he got cut, most of his right eye. But of course, it doesn't really mess with him that much. Of course, Luffy has became 6'5". Of course, his muscles are kind of lean, think of Gojo mostly. But yeah, he's that tall. He's a little bit taller than Gojo, but yeah. Let's see where Luffy is kind of wearing some shades. Well, not really shades. He's just wearing them right now because the sun is kind of burning his eyes if he doesn't wear them. But yeah, he's right now on a boat. And of course, he's kind of going along with some Marines that they heard about some pirates being on this island and causing trouble. Or supposed to be kind of causing trouble. Or, yeah. But Luffy's going there. And of course, this is where he's not on a boat he's on a boat by himself with other Marines. But yeah. Now, of course, he's just going there because Kaido said that would be fine. until they kind of find the location where the Straw Hats will be at. There's no way to actually find it out. But yeah, but this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 4 of what if Luffy became a Marine. Yeah, became a Marine. Part 4. Part 5 will be whenever, but other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato.